Hey guys, another weekend, Saturday afternoon. Didn't get as much done in the morning as I'd like. I was a bit busy this morning, and we've had a friend over, stayed overnight. But I did move things along during the week, and this morning I 3D printed some parts. I've been working on the final placement of everything on the bus bar and fuse panel. I did cut out a new one of these, which is now decent. And now, before I get done with this, before I finish this, I am going to run some wires in the van, see what I've got to work with precisely, because I might have to change the location for the DC to DC charger. All of that will probably become clear as I start putting stuff in. You'll see the time lapses. I might say a few words here and there to explain what I'm doing. And yeah, let's see if we can get this. Oh, I need to remove the rear driver's side headlight, as that's where the cables that need replacing go out of the van onto the underside auxiliary tank, water tank, that's got the heater elements to heat the water for the shower. I need to replace those, so I'm gonna see how I can do that. If I can use the original grommet that's there, if I have to. I did print a new one, but I'm hoping I don't have to use it. We'll see. Yeah, it's shaping up. Just start to put things in now, and hopefully you'll see that, and hopefully it all goes not too bad. So see you in a minute. Hey, Sunday afternoon. Yesterday you will have seen some time lapse of that. The battery on the GoPro died, but I just kept on doing what I was doing. I didn't much think about the filming. As a sort of a status update, I ran 3 cables from the front driver's seat to the middle of this cabinet, which is this 35mm squared positive to the bus bar. The Ethernet cable, which is right there. These are already tidy and insulated and taped over. A 25mm squared gray, which I may or may not need if I find a place to put the DC charger under the front seat. I won't need this. If I can't find a place, then I'll use this as an alternator power to the cabinet, further down the cabinet, and find a way to put the DC charger further down. I haven't finished installing this one because I need to crimp the terminal, this chunky thing. Before I put it in place, I need to measure it. I need to put the control panel because it needs to be perfectly sized. And then I can tidy this up, start tidying this up, and eventually put the seat frame back on. Also do the rest of the cables. I have sprayed the control panel and the fuse panel. Those are drying at the minute. Then I can mock them up, put the components on them, and do the connections on them as well. So I probably won't film much of the routing the cables. It's a bit of a it's a bit boring. But I will then at some point explain where and how I've routed them for my own future reference. So let's get on with it. It's Tuesday. And I'm not sure how much you will have seen of the work I did over the weekend. trying to run new cables. I've run into issues when I started working on this rear cabinet on the wires that need to go to the solar charger. I quickly discovered that the way I had routed it before was not gonna cut it for the new cables, the amount and the thickness of the new cables that I need to run through. So I ended up getting a bit frustrated, yanked everything out. And again, I'm not sure how much of that you'll see. I can't remember what I recorded. I was a bit flustered. So what I came up with, the alternative is, because at the bottom of this cabinet, this is where the fresh water tank sits, at the bottom part of this cabinet, there's a lid inside the wardrobe to access it, to clean, replace the water level sensor, etc., which is the original lid right here. It's 160 mil, give or take. So instead of damaging or cutting it up, I just printed a new one with a way to route the cables through it. And then I'll just use a plastic runner that will go up on the back side of this wall up to the solar charger. That should be a good way to do it. And I've also finished putting together the fuse panel. As you can see, this is the bus bars, one at each end, the fuse box, the fuses for the solar charger, and an extra one if I need it, and then the inverter fuse, 150 amp. Yeah, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but that is it. I still have to wire it up and then test it in place, mock it up. The control panel, the new one, is also done right here. This is the display for the Renogy batteries and control, and the master switch to turn them on and off in shelf mode. This is a master switch for the cabinet lights, and this is just a master switch for the ventilation, for the fridge ventilation. So yeah, some progress was made, not as much as I'd like, but now that I have an idea of how to run the new cables, and it's a quicker way to do it as well, instead of fiddling around inside all of these nooks and crannies, just using a plastic runner. It'll be hidden inside the wardrobe. It's going to be fine. And if I need to replace the wires, it's much easier to do. So that's it. Not as much done as I'd like, but hopefully next weekend will be better. I keep saying this, but at some point I need to actually get a lot of work done and get the van ready. So see you on the next one.